We're going to start off with these prophecies. We're going to start from the beginning. Let's see here. Let's start in Genesis, from the beginning. Genesis 23. No, Genesis 25. Genesis 25. Let's see here. I'm going to start with 21. It's Genesis 25 and 21. We're going to start at the beginning of these prophecies. It said, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from your bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So this is one of the major prophecies that's coming to pass. And this is how the Lord set the situation up. See, he had two nations that was born together in the womb. In the womb, they was fighting each other. They were struggling. Because in verse 22, Genesis 25, it says, and the children struggled together within her. So they in the womb struggling. Now when you go into who these two children was, it said, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So Esau was the elder that was going to serve the younger. So the elder son, Esau, he was going to have to serve the younger. So the younger was going to end up being on top. The younger was going to end up being the leader. See, because the person that's the servant is not the leader. And so 26 is saying, after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. So it said the elder will serve the younger. Now, why was Jacob taking hold of Esau's heel? What was the significance of him taking hold of Esau's heel? Now let's go into the Apocrypha. Apocrypha is the 14 books that they took out during the Bible destruction period, and these so-called Protestants who were separating themselves from the Catholic Church that was in Europe or England. The second is 6. I'm going to start at verse 7 and say, it's second Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? Or when shall be the end of the first? and the beginning of it that followeth. Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So it says in verse 7, what shall be the pardon asunder of time? So he's saying, what shall be the end? He was requiring of the end of this situation. Now this is Ezra. He already know all of the history that went on between the Israelites and these Edomites, the children of Esau. So he's trying to figure out what's going to be the end of the situation. See, he's trying to figure out what's going on now. What's going on today in 2023? When is that going to happen? And that's why it said Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That means Esau will be in control first. See, he would be the leader first. Because when that statement is made, it says Jacob, he says the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder is going to be under the other, in submission to the other. To the younger. And the younger would be the leader. See, the younger would be the king. And Esau, the elder, would have to serve the younger. So, but on the flip side, Jacob was holding on to Esau's heel because Esau came out first and Esau was going to rule first. Now let's get that in Numbers. Numbers chapter 20, Numbers 24 and 20. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nation, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So these children, Amalek was the grandson of Esau. And so they were going to be ruling first. They were going to be first of the people to rule. You see, and so when you go back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 8, when it says, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, because Esau was going to be ruling first. But Jacob was going to pull him down. He was going to grab his heel and pull him down. Now let me see if Genesis chapter 3 worded in that way. Because Genesis chapter 3 is a major prophecy that these Christians want to say that it's talking about some fallen angel. Genesis 3 and 15 saying, I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Okay, so this heel is talking about when Jacob is going to grab the heel of Esau. And see, here the so-called head is pretty much talking about the beginning of Jacob. The beginning of Jacob, Esau is going to be ruling. But Jacob is going to take Esau out at the end of his rule. Now let me jump back over 2nd Ezra. Let's get 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 and say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Jacob, he's the one that gonna take Esau out of rulership. And this is the period of time that we living in. See, we living in the period of time of these prophecies where Jacob is gonna grab the heel of Esau and snatch him out of rulership. Now let's see, Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So the Israelites, they're going to take the kingdom from Esau. Let's get it in Daniel 2:44. It say, in the days of these kings, what kings? The Edomite kings, because they the ones ruling. They're that fourth kingdom. When you jump back up to Daniel 2:40, it say, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong and strong as iron. Okay, and it shall break strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdue all things. So this fourth kingdom was going to subdue all things. When you go to chapter, you go to Daniel, back to Daniel 7, let's get the context. Daniel 7 and 23, get straight to the point and say, no, let me get Daniel 4. You know what? Let me do Daniel 23. This is Daniel 7 and 23. It says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. So it said the fourth kingdom. 24, it said, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. So when he say in chapter 2, after he talks about the fourth in chapter 2, verse 40, he say the fourth kingdom, okay, that's to subdue all things. This fourth kingdom, he's talking about this fourth kingdom in verse 44. He say, in the days of these kings. See, because that fourth kingdom has 10 kings. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Meaning this not gonna be left to the Edomites or any other nation outside of the nation of Israel. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So when the saints take the kingdom, they're gonna be taking it from Esau, who is the end of the world. They're gonna be grabbing Esau's heel and pulling Esau out of rulership. Now, when you go into let's see here, let's go into the back to second Ezra. Let's see, Ezra and Daniel talked about this fourth kingdom, and uh, Ezra talked about these Edomites in chapter 6. But when you get to chapter 11, he started describing the Edomite rulership. And he start describing the end again. Okay. See, he links everything up. That's why they took Ezra's, because Ezra's is in the Bible, But the second Ezra, they took that one out because it was linking up all of the scriptures to point at the so-called white man who was Esau Edom, who was the last ruling kingdom. See, this so-called Anglo-American power, that is a disguise for the nation of Edom. Okay, this is Second Ezra 11, and let's start at 39. It say, "Are you not?" No, it say, "Are not you it that remain of the four beasts?" See, the fourth beast, which was that fourth kingdom, whom I made to reign in my world. See, Esau is the end of the world, that the end of their times might come through them. See, because Jacob is going to pull them down. He's going to grab the heel of Esau, and it's the end of his kingdom, but they're going to destroy themselves. Verse 4, they say, "And the fourth came," meaning that fourth kingdom, "and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit." Now, why did they rule the earth with wicked oppression? Okay, and this is the kings in the days of these kings that he's talking about. That fourth kingdom that got 10 kings. He ruled with wicked oppression. Now this links up with well, let's link this up with Daniel, and then I'm gonna link it up with Revelation. Okay, so Second Ezra, that was chapter 11. Now chapter 12, verse 11, it says, "The eagle whom thou sawest cometh up out of the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of your brother Daniel." So he let it be known that Daniel saw the same kingdom, which was the fourth kingdom, and this is the same kingdom that ruled with much wicked oppression. Why did it rule with much wicked oppression? Let's go ahead and see why is this the kingdom of Esau. Malachi chapter 1. On that verse 4, it said, "Whereas Edom," meaning Esau's children, "whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever." See, he had indignation forever because of Exodus 17. He made a declaration against the Edomites, which they was already destined to play that role of the wicked, because he said the elder will serve the younger. It was already destined to be under the younger. Uh, Exodus 17, get right to the point. In 16, it said, "And he said, because the Lord have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation." See, um, yeah, that's why he said forever. That generation to generation is forever. He sworn that he will have war with them forever. See, and so that's why that fourth kingdom was going to rule with much wicked oppression, and they was the fourth beast that was ruling, and that the Yahushua, let's go back to Daniel, because Yahushua was going to take them out of rulership. Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7. Um, let's see here. Daniel 7 and let's see, 13. 4, 3. Daniel, okay. Yeah, let me start at 13. It says, this Daniel 7 and 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion, glory, and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Okay, so this is the kingdom that's been given to Yahweh. And so when you get down to verse 18, when you say, but the saints shall take the kingdom, and then after he talks about the saints taking the kingdom, he starts naming the fourth beast. This is who they gonna take it from. This is who they gonna uh, grab the heel of and take them out of rulership. In the days of these kings, God shall set up a kingdom. See, that shall not uh, pass away. It's because Yahushua is gonna come and take the kingdom from them. Let's get it again in Revelation. John and Daniel talked about some of the same prophecies. Revelation chapter 11, in verse 15, it's saying the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Amashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever. So the kingdoms of this world, what's the kingdoms of this world? That those the fourth beast, those 10 kings that was ruling. See, they was ruling in the end. Let's go and get that again. Second Ezra. Let's go back to Second Ezra 6 and 7 and said, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? Oh, when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Oh, he want to know when is uh, Jacob pretty much is going to grab the heel of Esau. And when he do it, when that's going to be is when Yahweh shall come and uh, take the kingdom from them 10 kings, which is the world of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world. So Esau is the world. Now let's go into the other prophecies about them receiving the blessing, because they were supposed to get a blessing, and that blessing was going to be rulership. See, it's going to be two major rulerships from these two children. So it just wasn't the elder was serve the younger and they left it at that. He gave specific detail. Now Jacob, he was given the leadership blessing, and his mother already knew it, so she set him up to be to go along with what the angel told her. that the younger would have his elder brother serving him, and he would be the leader. So she set him up. And in Genesis 27 and 29, this is what Isaac told Jacob his blessing was going to be. Let me start at 28. It said, therefore God gave thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. Now this phrase in the Isaiah and in Revelation is called a new heaven and a new earth. See, and it's talking about rulership, the heaven and the earth. Verse 29 it says, let people serve you and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be every one that cursed you, and blessed be he that blessed you. So this was the youngest son Jacob's leadership blessing. See, because he was going to be the leader out of him and his twin brother. Now, once Esau realized that they're not going with so-called tradition, or he's not going to get this blessing, even being the older, because usually the older son is the leader, he's not going to get that blessing. So now, verse 38, it says, and Esau said unto his father, have thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac said, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So he said, you still gonna get the heaven and the earth. See, that's why in Revelation, let's get there, Revelation 21. Because this is what it was talking about. And these two blessings. Revelation 21, verse 1 is saying, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. See, the first heaven and the first earth was given to Esau. That's why Jacob would have to was holding on to his heel, was holding on to the end of his rulership. The end of Esau's rulership is when Jacob would get his blessing. And the head, that's what Exodus 3 and 15, the head of Jacob's rulership, Esau would be ruling. See, now, let's see here. We got this, prophecies about the rulerships. Oh, let's get Hebrew. This is where these people are totally lost on the prophecy. That prophecy set a major outline. Hebrews 11 and 20 say, by faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. You see, and Isaac was the son of Abraham, and Abraham was given the blessing. And so once he gave the blessing to Abraham and told him that his children was gonna get a blessing, he passed it down to Isaac, his child. And Isaac had to pass it down to his child. See, and it went to Jacob. Jacob got that blessing that he was given because Abraham had many children. And out of those many children, he gave it to one of his children that was Isaac. And same thing with Isaac. Isaac had multiple kids. He didn't give it to Esau, he gave it to Jacob. But Esau had a small rulership, which was going to be the first heaven and the first earth. Now, Now, now we're at the end of Esau's rulership. This is the point of time where now we can link up this revelation. So it said the fourth kingdom was gonna have 10 kings. Let's go back to Daniel. This this fourth kingdom was gonna have 10 kings. Okay, Daniel 7 and Daniel chapter 2 give better understanding of the situation. Okay, Daniel 7 and what it was 20, 23, 24. It say, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. So that fourth kingdom had 10 horns, and those 10 horns was a similar symbol for 10 kings. So when you go into Revelation, John talked about these so-called 10 horns. And who was the 10 horns? It tells you who the 10 horns were. It's Revelation 12 and 3. It says, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. So that great red dragon symbolized that child of Esau, that elder son that came out first. See, and you had the woman. See, he said he would put enmity between the serpent and the woman, and this is exactly what's going on in this verse. It says, or in this chapter, so-called chapter, he was bringing out Genesis 3, and he was linking up Genesis 3:15 with Genesis 25 and 23 with the elder serving the younger, because Jacob was going to hold the heel of Esau, and that heel was going to be what Jacob was going to be pulling on, because that symbolizes him taking over the kingdom, or taking the kingdom from Esau. So this woman with 12 stars is the 12 tribes. So the 12 tribes of Jacob, which name was changed to Israel, Jacob's sons was gonna have to deal with the red dragon, which is the Edomites. Now it says, behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. These 10 horns is those 10 kings of the Edomites. These Edomite 10 kings. You see, now when you go to verse 4, it's Revelation 12 and 4. It says, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. The stars of heaven was 12 at first, but he only drew a third part, meaning the three. That was 3 tribes of the Israelites: Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which was the northern kingdom of Israel. It says, and did cast them to the earth. So he destroyed these 3 tribes and pushed them out of that land. Especially in 70 AD is when they sieged Jerusalem. Now it says, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered. So this wasn't no fallen angel standing and waiting on Yahweh. It was a literal government, which was the so-called Roman government, which was ran by the Edomites. See, the Edomites was standing before this woman who was an Israelite. I mean, specifically, this woman that was an Israelite, ready for her to deliver Yahweh. It says, which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So the Edomites was waiting on Yahweh to come out. and they was gonna try to devour Yahweh as soon as they was born. Herod. When you look up Herod, I can look him up right now. Herod. It say Herod was a certified Edomite. It say Herod, born in southern Palestine, was the son of Antipater, an Edomite, whom Julius Caesar later appointed procurator of Judea. Herod's mother was the daughter of a noble from Petra. Petra is the land of Esau or Edom, where they were living in the caves like they been doing all around the world, wherever the mountains is. Cave dwellers. That's why they call them Caucasians, because they cave dwellers. But it says that he came from an Edomite, so that's certified. He was these dragons was waiting for Yahweh Shai. He sent the people to scout out where he was gonna be at, and all the children around about his age, they went to kill him. That's why the prophecy was for Rachel. Don't weep for Rachel or whatever, because it was a prophecy about them trying to kill Yahweh when he came out the womb. So these 10 horns, let's get it out of Revelation 17. Revelation 17 and 12, it say, and the 10 horns which thou saw are 10 kings. So them 10 horns is 10 kings and not no fallen angels. I don't know how these people let these red dragons deceive them, but look at what the verse says. Let's jump down. Same chapter, Revelation 12. It says, verse 9, it's saying the great dragon was cast out. See, these Edomites. That old serpent called the devil and Satan. That's what they was called. This is a nickname for the Edomite. The old serpent. The serpent was a nickname. King David called them serpents. Let's see real quick. Let's get the serpent. Let's get the serpent real quick. King David called these dragons serpents. Psalms, starting at Psalm 52. Now he says, where is it? He started in 52 talking about the Edomites, because it says, a Psalm of David when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul a bold-faced lie. So he started writing songs about these Edomites. Verse 2, it say, their tongue deviseth mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Thou love all devouring words, O deceitful tongue. So he was getting on these Edomites heavy. So by the time you get to Psalm 58, he's still talking about these dragons. And look at what he say. Verse 3, he say the wicked, see, and that we established this fourth kingdom would rule with much wicked oppression, and this fourth kingdom was the world of Esau, and Malachi 1 and 4 said they the border of wickedness. So Psalm 58 talking about when King David say the wicked, he talking about the Edomite. Say the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. It say their poison is like the poison of a serpent. See, this is why they the serpent, because they gonna tell a bold-faced lie, and they was born coming out the womb telling lies. It's in their bloodline. See, this is something that they can't shake. They coming out the womb being the whole snake. It say they're poisoning like the poison of a serpent. They are like the death adder. Now the adder is one of the most poisonous snakes in the world. The death adder that stoppeth her ear. And see, Esau, Edom was the wickedest nation in the world. Let's get that. See, because when King David said wicked, he's not just trying to talk about that so-called lawbreakers, people that break the law and live a so-called worldly life, as these Christians say. See, he was doing something he was talking about a specific people that was established and to have this reputation. The Lord said he gonna war with them from generation to generation. He set up a whole altar under Moses. The Israelites knew about this altar that he set up and swore that he would have a war with these wicked Edomites. See, so King David wasn't ignorant of what was going on with the Edomites. Now I want this three little children or something. My pop in my in this Bible, well in the Apocrypha, the one I got is three little children. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon. Esther, Salakia. It's just one page for this thing. Okay, I got to go to the table of contents. See exactly what this book is at. But these Edomites was always known as the wicked man. Okay, let's see here. Okay, 155. It was always known as the wicked. And look at what it says here in the three holy children in the Apocrypha. It say, and thou did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. Who was the Israelites delivered to? They were delivered to the Greeks, to the Romans. See, they was in captivity under the Greeks and the Romans. Especially during the time of Yahweh, it said, and thou did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world. See, the Edomites was known as the most wickedest nation, and out of all the nations that the Lord had made, they were the most wickedest nation. And they the one that the Israelites went into captivity to. And so when Revelations 12 talks about the serpent, let's get back to that one. Revelation 12 talks about the serpent. It says that old serpent called the devil. See, he was called a deceiver. There was a bunch of liars. And Satan, there was the adversary. Let's get that adversary. Esther, that wicked Haman, he was one of the Edomites, and he was called exactly what they call. It's Esther 7 and 6. It says, and Esther said, the adversary, meaning Satan, the Satan, And the enemy is this wicked Haman. See, this Edomite Haman, because he was coming from Agag in chapter 3. It tells you he came from Agag, who was from Amalek, who the Lord said he would have war with um, from generation to generation, the grandson of Esau. See, that was one of his forefathers. What is it, chapter 3, verse 1? It says, after these things did King Azarias promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite. You see, so Haman was an Edomite, and Esther called him Satan. See, so this is what they was always known as. She just ain't calling him Satan for no reason. She called him Satan, and they was all King David always called them a bunch of liars. They love to tell a lie. So this is why people thinking about some fallen angel, because the Edomites got them thinking about that crap. The Edomites trying to hide themselves under some fallen angel doctrine. It says, and they got most people thinking about a devil, or what is it? They thinking about some angels floating around and spirits floating around messing with them outside of the will of God. Like God don't control all spirits. See, they paranoid thinking about somebody getting. They ain't thinking about God punishing their behind. They thinking about some fairy tale that these Edomites done told them. It say, which deceived the whole world. See, these Edomites done deceived everybody. Now, let's see. Let's see if the scriptures agree with that. What would this kingdom do? It was going to deceive the whole world. Now, you see, they going to rule. Oh, let's go back to that second Esdras, because there's some more meat on that bone. See, who deceived the whole world? Who was in control of the whole world? Second Esdras 11. Let me get verse 40 again. It's saying the fourth came. They're talking about their fourth kingdom. And overcame all the beasts that were past and had power over the world. See? With great fearfulness and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. The fourth kingdom would have great deceit, and they would be the fourth, they would be kings, 10 kings. Daniel talked about these 10 kings. Revelation talked about the same 10 kings. See, everything matching up. Daniel talked about the 10 kings, and Revelation talked about the 10 kings, and matched them with the fourth kingdom and the so-called red dragon beast, the red beast and the red dragon. Both of them had 10 horns. And this is the same kingdom that was in Daniel that had the 10 kings. You see, and the Edomites was Edom means red, first of all. See, a nation of red people. You can see the blood come through their skin. But it said that for the earth has thou not judged with truth. So they deceive the whole earth, man. Is that what Revelation 12 said? Or did it say world? It says, okay, it says world. He was cast out into the earth. So this is what the scriptures is talking about, and this is leading up to these Edomites' kingdom coming to an end, and to these last prophecies, because now we see that their kingdom coming to an end. Jacob is grabbing the heel of Esau. See, when the prophets coming out, and when the prophets is having this great awakening, and the nation of Israel was the prophets. They having a great awakening. And so they exposing these Edomites. And this is how another way Jacob is grabbing the heel of Esau and pulling them down. Because it's a spiritual war with Esau. Let's get that. Because they use this verse too. See, they love to use this verse and try to say this verse is talking about some freaking fallen angel. And you got Israelites talking, looking over the shoulder like God ain't the one punishing they behind. See, God is doing all the punishing, and He's sending all the hitmen out for you. He's sending the ops out for you to shoot up your whatever you got going on. So if it ain't the Lord doing it, it ain't being done. What that Amos 3 and 6. Um, what is it? This is Ephesians 6 and 12. It say, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood." See, we ain't out here shooting and killing and fighting these Edomites. It say, "But against principalities, against their government structure." See, we exposing their whole government against the powers. See, all of the power, all of the kingdoms that they got. What's that? Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, "Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." See, this is what we exposing. This is what we fighting against. See, we not fighting no freaking angels and no devil, man. That crap is not real. That's just a lie that these people can't get out of their head. They can't get that lie out of their head that the so-called white man created, talking about a fallen angel, trying not to take ownership. See, the fourth kingdom is the kingdom of the Edomites, the so-called white man. See, the Jehovah Witness will tell you that the Anglo-Saxon uh, rulership, the American Anglo-Saxon, is the whole rulership of the so-called white man. They call them Anglo-Saxon. See, they don't want to say white man. See, they want to say Anglo-Saxon, like that's some kind of thing. There's no Anglo-Saxon in the scriptures. There's no white man in the scriptures. The Edomites. But it says, we wrestle against principalities, powers, and rulers. This is what it's talking about. Let's get Jeremiah 28 and 8 to show this is what the prophet is talking about. It's not talking about no freaking fallen angels or any kind of spirit. See, the Lord creates spirits for vengeance. He don't got spirits out here messing with his righteous people. Now, Jeremiah 28 and 8, it says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." See, the great kingdom, what's the great kingdoms? Kingdoms. In the days of these kings, the Lord shall set up a kingdom, and he shall break in pieces all these kingdoms. What are these kingdoms? The kingdom of the Edomites, the fourth kingdom, which had 10 horns, which represented 10 kings. That's NATO. See, NATO is a bunch of, in the EU, the European Union, because they call themselves Europeans. The NATO and the EU, these are 10 kings of the Edomites. See, very simple. It ain't even hard. And so when you go into Revelation, let's go back to Revelation 12, because this is where you're going to understand what prophecy is popping off and why they popping off. Why it's come to a climax. So Esau is the red dragon. He is these 10 kings. And that's why you got Russia fighting with America, and NATO is always talked about because they is the coalition of the Edomites. But America and Russia is pulling on NATO. They want control of these 10 kings. See, Russia want control of the 10 kings. America want control of the 10 kings. See, because when you get to Revelation 18 and tell you that America got control of the 10 kings and been having control of them in 1944 when they had that agreement with the monetary fund, IMF, where everybody gave their gold to America. So America Okay. Now the what I was talking about, the monetary fund that America started in 1944, and everybody gave the money to America. Um, that's when what was it? Um, America gained pretty much a global currency. So that's how they was ruling over these 10 kings because they got everybody to promote their dollar, where it's a international dollar now, a global currency. And so NATO was being controlled by these Edomites, by these American Edomites. But the Russian Edomites, they want the control. So it's Edomites and American Edomites. But now you getting to the point where what Revelation 12 and 12, we at this point because they fighting each other, and this is what Yahushua said about them fighting each other. Matthew 12. See, he told them what was gonna be Esau's fall. Revelation 12 starting at 25. I mean Matthew 12 and 25. It said, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom, see this fourth kingdom that we talking about, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. See how these 10 kings divided within themselves. You got the Russian Edomites trying to take down the American Edomites. It says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. 26. If Satan cast out Satan, see, because this is who the Edomites was considered. They was considered Satan. Not this is he is not talking about no freaking angels, man. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? And this is what's going on. The Edomite Russians is fighting against the Edomite American, and they trying to get the power over the whole Edomite kingdom. You see, this fourth kingdom that's ran by the Edomite. Putin want control over it, and the Americans want control over it, but it's the Amalek in the background controlling everything. Now, let's see here, verse 12. It's Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. See, because these kingdoms is, let's get that in Proverbs. See, this is a deep operation. It's telling the people in the kingdoms to rejoice. Because why? Proverbs 29 and 2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So he's saying rejoice to whoever dwelling in this kingdom. It says, rejoice. He said, when the righteous, this is Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So he's saying here, this is Revelation 12 and 12. Rejoice, ye heavens, you king, ye kingdom, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the sea, of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. You see, so the ones that's in the kingdom, that goes both ways too. Those that dwell in these kingdoms, they gonna rejoice because these people is being kicked out of the kingdom. They being cast to the earth. What he said, he was cast out into the earth. But that's talking about the war. But these Edomites is being cast down because they say the devil has come down unto you. They being cast down with the poor people. So they finna be Man, see, their kingdom is falling pretty much. That what goes on with Isaiah 14. See, Isaiah 14 and Revelation 12 goes hand in hand. Isaiah 14, where is it? Revelation 4, Isaiah 14. I want to get straight to the point. Verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven? See, this is why he's saying, ye heaven, rejoice ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. See, because this man is falling from heaven. Old Lucifer, the son of morning. See, he the son from the beginning too. See, he was the first son that came out. It says, how art you cut down to the ground? What did he tell him in Obadiah? I'm gonna bring you down to the ground. No, he told him in Malachi, you shall build, but I will bring you down, which did weaken the nations. He deceived the nation, and that was weakening their behind. It says, for thou hast said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven and will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Who is the stars of God? Revelation. The 12 stars in the beginning is talking about the nation of Israel. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. What's that? North America. See, he want to sit on. He want to sit. He said, I will also sit. No, I will sit also upon the congregation. So he gonna sit on the congregation. He's pretty much using the congregation and the church, which is the Israelites, and this is how they built a kingdom pretty much. Verse 14 it say, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. Verse 16, to get who this is talking about, and not no freaking fallen angel, just like Revelation 12. It says, they that see you shall narrowly look upon you and consider you, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? How did he shake kingdoms? Because he is the top ruler. What did the Daniel? What did Daniel say about this fourth kingdom? Daniel said, let's get into Daniel 2. It says, verse 40, Daniel 2 and 40, it say, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Okay, so this is how he um shook kingdom. He subdued all the kingdom. Now Daniel 7, I think break it down a little bit better. Daniel where is it? Daniel 7 and is it 7? Yeah, it says, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible. That's exactly what 2nd Ezra 11 said. And strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. See, this fourth kingdom with the 10 horns, which is the red dragon with the 10 horns, and the red scarlet beast with the 10 horns. See, this is Satan the devil. This is the Edomites, the so-called white men. and they the ones that's um, shaking kingdom. This is the man that shook kingdom, not no fallen angel. See, it was a man that was called Lucifer, son of the morning. It was not no fallen angel called no Lucifer, because the scriptures is talking about Jacob and Esau. This is what the prophecies is all about. Now you go back to Revelation 12. Revelation 12, it says that for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he has but a short time. Because Jacob was gonna grab the heel of the eater of Esau. Now in Genesis 3:15 it talks about the serpent seed and the woman seed. So um, Apostle John he gets into talking the same language. He says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. So once they seeing that their kingdom is falling, now they trying to attack. See, when Jacob is pulling on his heel, now this is when the struggle begins. Because it says they struggled in the womb. And the Lord said he swore to have war with Esau's children forever. So it thought to use this language of a woman and a serpent, just like in uh, Genesis 3:15. But the climax of the situation is this great wrath is going to cause a war to be put on a certain people. Look at verse 17. It's Revelation 12 and 17. And we know who the people is. The same people who was in the womb. It's the younger son that's going to be the leader. And who's going to have the heel of Esau, who is the kings that's ruling. Because Esau is the end of the world, like 2nd Ezra 6 say. It says verse 17 in Revelation 12 and 17, the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to wage war with the remnant of her seed, uh, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahweh. And the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy. And this is why the prophecy is here. Because these Edomites has been exposed and revealed. That was one of the major prophecies. Let me get that. They have been revealed and made bare. That was going to be one of the major prophecies that was going to spark off the end. And Apostle Paul knew about that because he was a Pharisee. See, he said he was one of the top Hebrew of the Hebrews. See, touching the law. He knew about these prophecies. And he knew what was supposed to happen between Jacob and Esau. He says in verse, where is it? This 2nd Thessalonians, verse 3. No, 2nd Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means. See, he already know. It's a major deceiver that's on the scene, which is Esau Edom. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed. See, the wicked man. See, this wicked nation, they got to be revealed. The son of destruction. See, they trying to destroy everything in their path. That's what the fourth kingdom was described as. 2nd Ezra 6 and 11, and in Daniel chapter 2 and Daniel chapter 7. His fourth kingdom was described. It was described as being straight destructive. But they got to be revealed. This is the end that they will not come unless they be revealed. Okay? So this is what was going on. And Apostle Paul knew that because he knew Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah, at the end of his writing, he wrote about the Edomites. See, in the end of his writing, Esau was in the end of the world. He was that younger son. I mean, he was the elder that had to serve the younger. And he talked about the elder, how the elder's kingdom would come to an end. Jeremiah 49 and 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not." So Esau was always known to have to be revealed. He had to be exposed. So Apostle Paul said he got to be exposed that he gonna try to hide himself. And he was already calling himself Romans, Greeks. Uh, see, he was already taking on the identity of all these people. Now when he going to what was it? Romans. We're talking about Apostle Paul understanding the prophecy. Romans 9 and 11. It says, well, let's start at 9. Romans 9 and 9. It says, "For this is the word of promise. At this time I will come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also have conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her." See, Apostle Paul knew that this was a major prophecy that was said to Rebekah. It was said unto her, "The elder shall serve the younger." So he understood that Esau was the elder and Jacob was the younger. Plus, he understood that Amalek was going to be the first of the nation. And he could see it with his own two eyes because he was past the Greek captivity and he was all the way into the Roman captivity. So he say, the elder shall serve the younger. Then he brought that prophecy and put it with Malachi 1 and 4. "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." So these two prophecies, Apostle Paul put both these side by side. See, he took a verse out of Genesis 25 and 23 that talked about the elder Esau going into slavery under Jacob. Then he took Malachi 1 and 4 and put it right under it. See, "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." So he letting you know Esau is going to go into slavery after Jacob go into slavery. And so he put these two prophecies right beside each other because he understood that Esau had to be revealed and Esau was ruling and telling a bunch of lies and trying to hide himself. Oh, he said that the Israelites was going to have to fall away first. I mean, they were going to have to be pretty much lose their identity. And then let's go ahead and get that. He understood Jeremiah 17, touching the law. He understood what was going on. That's why Yahweh Shah showed himself to Apostle Paul. Jeremiah 17, starting at verse 4, it says, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from the heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve your enemies in the land which you knoweth not. So you gonna lose your identity, and they gonna ship you to some other place where you don't even know where you at. See, you gonna get kicked out of your homeland, and you gonna go to somebody else's land. That's an easy concept for Apostle Paul to understand. So the Israelites, they gonna fall away first. They gonna lose their identity and go into somebody else's land into slavery. Yahweh told when he started talking to the apostles, and they telling him what Yahweh was saying. See, and Yahweh wasn't the first one to say it. That in the law. See, he knew about it in the law. Let's get it. Um, Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy 30. Let's see. Deuteronomy 30 and verse 2. It says, and shall return unto the Lord your God, and shall obey his voice according to all that. Okay, I want verse 3. It says that then the Lord your God will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you, and will return and gather you from all the nations, whether the Lord your God have scattered you. See, he knew about that one. Then he knew about Kings, First Kings. He knew about First Kings and what 8 First Kings 8:46. It said, if they sin against thee, if there is no man, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried captive, and repent. So they're gonna be sent to another land, and they're gonna have to bethink themselves, see, and return back to who they really supposed to be, or their nationality. So he knew those those prophets, and he knew the law. So Apostle Paul, when he thought to bring out these prophecies about the two children being born, see, he's not talking about Jacob and Esau for no reason. He was letting it be known that these people got to be revealed because it was a prophecy in Genesis 25. And they gonna try to hide themselves. See, and once they get revealed, then you gonna have all heck breaking loose. Now he said something in okay, let's go back to Revelation in 12. Now, mind you, these two chapters, Revelation 12 and Revelation 13, is getting into the climax of the situation of Jacob and Esau. So he said in verse 17 of 13, mind you, Apostle Paul did not write no chapter 12, he did not write no chapter 13. So he started at the beginning, that he saw, and look how he worded the situation. This 12 and 1, he said, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her a crown of 12 stars. So, and he's saying, why he in the prison now, this is why he in the prison. He's saying in heaven, he's not talking about he was sitting beside God and God breaking the stuff down to him. He's looking up in the sky, you see, and he's seeing these two, this woman and this serpent, this red dragon. See, you seeing Jacob and Esau. This is what he's seeing. And so he's seeing everything about them, and it's gonna come to a climax that the dragon is gonna try to attack the woman, and they're gonna have a war, and that's when Jacob is gonna grab the heel of Esau. Now look at chapter 13. He said, and I stood this 13:1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Same situation. The same beast is the red dragon, but he's gonna describe the situation different. Now, let me get verse 4 to show that he talking about the same thing. He said, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. So the dragon is giving power to the beast because they the same thing. They the same power. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? See, because Esau is ruling with his 10 kingdoms. His 10 kingdoms is ruling everything. NATO and the EU. Nobody can make war with them. That's why Russia, who done joined the other nations and gathering the other nations, Russia ain't attacked NATO and America. He only just started with the Ukraine situation, and that's how we know we coming to a close because they starting to fight each other. Now, this is chapter 13. After he went to breaking down that they gonna attack, but it's gonna be a specific way that he wanna alert, um, the Lord wanna alert every the Israelites. But how he gonna break down this beast right here? He's gonna break it down in a specific way. First, he let you know that the beast is the same as the dragon, and this beast nobody can war with him. Then you know it got a powerful military. These 10 kings, they got a powerful military. Now, in verse 10, it say, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So these people would be putting people into slavery. See, that's why he started off with, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Because this is the same people, these 10 kings that's gonna be putting folks in slavery. But Luke 21 and 24, they shall lead. Uh, you should fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. So this is the same verse, pretty much as Luke 21:24. But this is being specific to the 10 kings is the one that's gonna be doing this all at one time. Now when you get down to where is it? Let's see here. Now you get into the meat of it. When they attack, how are they gonna make war with the saints? This is what it's boiled down to. Revelation 13. So after the slavery, then it talks about in 11, it says, but I beheld another beast coming out of the, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So in the midst of the 10 horns, the 10 kings, it's gonna be a beast that's gonna rise up. See, one of these kings or just a beast is gonna rise up, and he gonna do something specific. And really, this is talking about the elites because none of these people got no power but them. It says, verse 12, he exercised all the power of the first beast. So this one, he exercised all the power. See, he ain't this something that ain't got no. He just got a power in one spot. He got power over everything. See, And so when you jump down to verse 16 and 17, it'll let you know what this one, this coalition, pretty much, the ones who got all the power, they gonna be making something happen. It says, I'm gonna start at 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So this one that had all this power and was deceiving people with miracles and stuff, he in verse 16 it said, he shall cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark. So unless you got this mark, you can't buy nothing out of these people's store. See, this is how he's gonna make war with the saints. Because look at what the saints got a commandment to do. See, the saints got a specific commandment where they can't do something. This Revelation 14. The next one gonna give you the climax of the climax. See, first, the way that these dragons gonna make war with the those that fear the Lord, they gonna make it mandatory that you have this mark and you won't be able to buy nothing out their store. So in verse 9, he said, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without measure into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So they already know that you gonna have to have a major punishment if you sit around here and uh, take this mark, do whatever this man tells you to do so you can buy and sell something. Because he gonna make it to where you got to do what he said. See, but whatever the Lord is pretty much saying, whatever he demand you do, you better not do it. Whatever he say, you gotta do this, and if you don't, because this is the key to the situation. In verse 17, it says, "Save he had the mark, that no man might buy or sell, save he had." Unless you got the mark, you can't buy and sell. It's a simple situation. Unless you got this situation right here, you ain't coming up in my store and buying anything. See, you ain't come, and all of this is gonna happen when they is revealed. Cause see, when a criminal is revealed, just like Apostle Paul said, when he is revealed, then that day gonna come. See, the day can't come unless he is revealed. So once the fourth kingdom is revealed to be the Edomites, who God hate, see, and he gonna destroy with an everlasting destruction after 1,000 years, it's game over. They gonna come in great wrath, see, and then they gonna try to do whatever they can do. Let's get that in Jude. So once they see that they're exposed and that they got a short period of time, now they trying to deal wisely. Jude 5:20. See, they were so-called wise men. This is what they thinking in their head. I'm gonna start at 20. It's Judith in the Apocrypha, chapter 5, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and we shall overcome them. See, they trying to say this is what they automatically saying. We got to put this situation up. We got to start this situation so they can sin against their God. That's our only chance is to get them to sin against their God. See, verse 21 it says, but if there is no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So where's the Israelites located? Because this is also showing how they gonna be coming. Uh, that's Revelation 6. They're gonna be coming for the Israelites in America who got the truth and who is pushing the truth. See, because Zechariah let you know where the whole battleground is gonna be. See, they know they trying to cut the head off the snake. Zechariah 12:7 it say, the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first. See, Judah is gonna be the one pushing the truth. They're gonna be the one pushing it hard. And they know where Judah is certified to be at in Babylon the Great America. Okay? So this is why they gonna come with a trickery. See, they gonna come to Babylon the Great America with their trickery. But they gonna put it worldwide because he said all, both small and great. Where is it? Oh, I'm a second at it. Let me go back to Judas. I want to make sure I got everything out of there. It says, it's Judas 5:21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be with them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So they was already gonna become a reproach, but this is their wise men talking, trying to convince the governors and the ones that got all the power. See, they trying to convince them that you got to come up with this. Then we get Revelation 6. You got to come up with this major way that they gonna sin against their God, because he done told them they can't consent to what we got going on. And let me get those scriptures. Revelation 6. I'm gonna get verse 8 to get right to the point. It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse. They're talking about the Edomites. They the only pale nation in the world. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. See, that's Habakkuk 2:5. They was considered as death, these Edomites. It says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. So they gonna lock America down because they know this is where the Israelites is concentrated at. Let me get that. They get powers given to them over the fourth part of the earth. What was going on in the fourth part of the earth? Jeremiah 50. See, talking about the Edomites in 49. So in chapter 50 in Jeremiah, it's still talking about during the Edomites rulership. Jeremiah 50:33, it says, thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So they being oppressed together in the kingdom of the Edomites and Babylon the Great. Because this 50, let's get verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1. The word of the Lord, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon. See, and that Babylon is talking about Babylon the Great America. And they are pressed together. The Israelites is oppressed together here. So in Revelation 6, verse 8, it say, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, because this is where the concentration of the Israelites is. It says, to kill with the sword and with hunger. See, you can't come in our store and buy and sell nothing. See, when they seized Jerusalem, they starved them out. That was one of the things they were trying to do, or that they did. See, it was starved. The Israelites was inside of the walls of Jerusalem or whatever, and they were starving. It says, and was given power, was given unto them, Salaki, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth. See, this is who they gonna be. This is what they're gonna be using. See, and the key part is hunger, because that's what goes along with Revelation 13 with this buying and selling. Because you got they was in. Let's get that Deuteronomy 28. They was under the curses, and the curses made it to where they had to depend on their slave master. Uh, Deuteronomy 28, verse 48, it says, therefore thou shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against you, in hunger. See, that's why that was the key. In hunger, you got to depend on your enemies, which are your slave masters. See, you got to depend on him when you want something to eat. So that's why in the fourth part of the earth, where the concentration of the Israelites is, which is Babylon and Great America, you got to depend on your slave master for hunger. And that he gonna be able to kill your behind. Because guess what? You can't go in his store and buy nothing. See, you ain't going in his store unless you put a thing in your hand. You ain't going in his store and getting no Kool-Aid and getting no milk and cereal and bread. See, you ain't going to his store and buying no steaks, no uh, pizzas and peanut butter and jelly. See, you ain't going to that man's store and buying none of that stuff. No apples and oranges. See, none of you are not gonna get nothing out of this man's store unless you put that thing in your butt, in your head, your arm, your leg. You gonna have to put it somewhere. See, he don't care where you put it, long as you uh taking it and receiving it, so you can be uh, sinning against your God. See, this is the whole point what he trying to get you to do. And sin is just to disobey an order. See, he ordered in Revelation 14:9 and 10, he ordered that you better not receive if any man worship the beast by receiving his mark. So he don't, first of all, he don't want you to worship this thing in mind. But when you take that mark, you gonna show that you worship him. And that's what Jeremiah 17 was all about. And Apostle Paul knew that too. That's why he went to talking about it. Until that situation, till it's a falling away first. See, because this is a point, it's going to be a point about them falling away. Verse 5, this Jeremiah 17:5. It says, thus says the Lord, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and make flesh his arm, and whose heart depart from the Lord. See, the Lord told you to do one thing, but the man said, well, unless you do it, you're not going to be able to buy nothing out this store. You're not going to be able to get no orange juice and grape juice out this store. You're not going to be able to get no water. See, you're not going to be able to get no apples and cucumbers and lettuce. See, pineapples. You're not going to be able to get nothing about this store. See, and this is the whole situation. So, people talking about something being spiritual, it's very spiritual. It got nothing to do with what they talking about. The spiritual part is this devil gonna want to put something in your body. Oh, let's get it. Exodus. Exodus 21 or 15. Let's see. Exodus 21. Yeah. Exodus 21 and 6. It says, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And that's what worship is going into. See, you telling these dragons that you gonna let them put something, bore something into your body. See, and it's gonna represent that you his slave. See, and you only supposed to be the slave of the Lord. See, you only supposed to serve the Lord and trust in the Lord, not some funky behind man. See, but this is how another cut to what they talking about, some spiritual mess. Revelation 16 and 2, it said, and the first went and poured out a vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast. So it's a grievous sore that's gonna be on their body. See, you ain't finna all the crap that they done came out their mouth with, whatever spiritual thing that they talking about. That ain't got nothing to do with the flesh. It's saying that your flesh is going something gonna fall upon your flesh if you take this mark of the beast. So that lets you know this is dealing with the flesh and with your body. They want you to put something in your body so you can eat they funky behind food, which is none of mainly is a bunch of poison and GMOs anyway. Let's get that and what is it? Ezekiel. See, they tricking you on that crap. Cause you can fast. That's another allegory. What the how shall I say? Some devil you can't kill unless you fast and pray. See, this might be the whole point. How did he uh, resist the devil in Matthew 4 and 4? He prayed and he fasted. They say the best way to cure any disease and to cure yourself is to fast. Stop putting this mess in your mouth. Now, first of all, Ezekiel 4 talking about the slave trade. Where is it? Let's get it real quick. It tells you in what verse 5, because it told Ezekiel. Let me go ahead and read it because I don't want to break it down too much. Okay, verse 5, it say, for I have laid upon you, yeah, for I have laid upon you years of your iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days. So shall thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. That's the same thing that's in Revelation 11 and 11. After 3 days and a half, and that's why he told him in the next verse 6 what he gonna tell him. Let me read for a year. So those days, 3 days and a half, is talking about years. Um, and he's talking about 300. Now, let's see here. So 300 years plus, I'm gonna just say it that way, 300 years plus, the Israelites are gonna be paying for their iniquity in slavery. But what was gonna be happening when this was gonna be happening? Look at verse 13. It's saying the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I have driven them. See, when he drive them away into slavery, they gonna be eating defiled food. See, bread made out of flour and sugar. It ain't really wheat. See, and the wheat bread, they done trying to trick you on that. Then the meat got parasites all in it. The fish, the steaks, the pig, anything you grab got a bunch of parasites in the crap. They just gluing meat together. So you got all kind of glue in the meat, tying the meat up with strings and crap. See, playing all kind of games, putting nicing all over the is it nitrates on the freaking meat to make it look red and fresh. See, a bunch of old meat they done had sitting around in the freezer, some crap. The fruits and vegetables they done turned them into GMO, and they done modified them to last longer in the store and all this kind of crap. They don't. You can give it to animals. The animals start having pus sores all over the body. Bunch of wickedness. Soon as I get the recording, somebody call my phone. Yeah, they having all kind of um problems with the food. Now this one in verse 9, look, that's just what I was talking about. It says verse 9, thou take also unto thee wheat, barley, beans, lentils, millet, fitches, to put them in one vessel to make the bread thereof. So he pretty much saying they done combine all kind of crap together and try to feed the people. Now, let's see. So yeah, this is how they gonna try to come with their war. Oh, Isaiah 59. It says in verse 19, it say, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So they're going to come in like a flood, because the Israelites is not going to be down for you sticking some device in their behind or in their hand, forehead, or any part of their body, because they already been threatened by the Lord. If you take what this man is demanding you to take, so you can get you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out their stove, he gonna burn your behind in the presence of the Lord and the angels. Now let's get 2nd Ezra 16. Does it say the same thing? He ain't switching up and telling two different stories. All the prophets are telling the same story. 2nd Ezra 16, we start at verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. So this is the so-called Edomite, and they, who is the end of the world, see, they in great wrath, having great wrath, because they know their time is up. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered to idol. So they gonna take some of the Israelites away, because they not gonna be down for you sticking something in their body and making them your slave. They already your slave, but you got too much control over them. But that ain't what it is. It's the threat of the Lord. It says 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under the foot. So the Lord telling you in Revelation 14 that if you consent to these red dragons, these Edomites, the so-called white man, and his 10 government structures, if you consent to these people, he is going to kick your behind. Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. See, that's that flood in Isaiah 59 and 19. See, that flood is going to come for the Israelites. It says, they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their good. See, you talking about you a prepper, you're a Canadian prepper. He got some prepping for you. It says they shall waste and take away your goods and cast them out of their houses. So you hanging on to some house, you might as well get that one up. Verse 7, it said, verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So this is also the hour of temptation for the Israelites. And for how you tell them to, you gotta, let me read it because I'm gonna butcher the scripture. This is the point of time when the Israelites got to prove themselves. You got to prove that you trust the Lord over a funky behind man. That's why he say, cursed be man that trusted in man. Because which one you going to trust in, the Lord or man? That's Revelation 2 and 10. It say, fear none of the things which you shall suffer. So and what you scared of, you being scared of a man. See, but that he can't do nothing. Say, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. See, they're going to have a great insurrection and go to throwing Negroes into prison, that ye may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. But it said, be thou faithful unto death. What you being faithful to? See, you being faithful to Revelation 14, saying if you take that man Mark and put it in your behind, you gonna find out what death is all about. And if in second Ezra 16 and 69, see if you consent to these dragons, you gonna find out what death is all about. Say, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. See, if it comes to the point that you got to die, you better go ahead and get it in, because he can reward you for being faithful. But when you is being disobedient, he gonna give you a amazing reward. See, of fire and brimstone. Where is it? Revelation 3 and 10, and say, because you have kept my word of my patience. See, you didn't take the mark. I also will keep thee in the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See, everybody's gonna be tried because if, say, the Chinese over there taking the thing and putting it all in their behind, and they come down with a grievous sword, see, so they're gonna be tried too. But the major trial is gonna be in the fourth part of the earth, Babylon the Great America, where they gonna come with it, and they gonna try to starve Negroes out, because we know these are the ultimate red dragons. See, these are red dragons that is like no other. But they all the same. Now when you go into what's the other one? Um Revelation 20. Revelation 20. Revelation 20 and 4. It said, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead or in their hands. So this is talking about people done got their head chopped off and they didn't receive the mark. Salaki. See, this is Salaki. Let me see if I can stop this noise. All right, let's see here. So yeah, that was being specific in Revelation 20 and 4. It said, I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh. Now they got a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but that they got all kind of guillotine that they done bought up, and the what is it the something department where they do all of the laws on the prisoners and people that commit crimes, saying that they done okay capital punishment uh with with the guillotine. So that's already set and ready to go. And they got the FEMA camps already on on the computer. You can pull up FEMA camps and it'll show you all about 800 plus of so-called FEMA camps, which is ran by the the what you call it, FEMA. And when they declare martial law, you're gonna have FEMA take over and you're gonna have the military take over. Now what's this Matthew 24 gives some more insight on that to show how they gonna have this thing so off the chain. Okay, Matthew 24 and 21, it said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Verse 22, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So, those ones that don't consent to these devils and don't receive that mark and wherever he want them to put it, to buy some food out they funky behind stove. See, them gonna be the individuals that the Lord is gonna stop the time for because they're gonna be rounding Negroes up. See, because they coming in like a flood, it's gonna be a great insurrection. So once they gonna make the thing mandatory, and then that's when all the drama is gonna start popping off. Because once they make it mandatory and the elect is gonna reject it, then they're gonna start confiscating their food out their house, kicking them out of their house. Once you kicking them out of their house, then they're gonna have to go into somewhere. So they're gonna start putting them in the prison. Then they're gonna be giving them all kind of threats, and then they're gonna start killing them. See, to make themselves or make it a serious situation. If you don't do it, you're gonna die and all this kind of stuff. So the people that's hearing that folks is getting their head chopped off, go ahead and take it. That's Revelation. I mean Daniel 12 and 1. It said, And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble. See, that's Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. This is talking about a nation of people. See, that's living inside of another nation, serving their enemies. It says, since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time, your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So Daniel was being let known that your people is finna go through some stuff. Now, is that in Jeremiah? Say your people finna go through a troublesome time, but Michael is gonna stand up for your people. The angels is gonna stand up and save them and deliver them in their time of trouble. Okay, Jeremiah 30 and start at 6. It say, ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loin, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. See, these some you can even say it, these some dark skinned people, but they gonna be so scared. See, and they acting like they so big and bad and hard, gang members and drug dealers, see, hitters and hitmen and shooters and all this kind of stuff. They ops, see, they gangsters and all these. They ain't gonna be none of that. See, when the so-called white man closed that grocery store, I'm gonna get that next. Verse 7, it say, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So it's not going to be all of Jacob, but it's going to be a large number of Jacob that is going to take that mark and is going to fight against the so-called white man. Verse 7, verse 8, it says, for it shall come to pass in that day, says the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off your neck and will burst your bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. So this is when the slavery is going to end. But before the slavery ends, it's going to be a troublesome time for Jacob. That's why he said um, what he said in Daniel. It's going to be a time of trouble. And he said, at that time, your people shall be delivered. So all heck is going to break loose. The so-called white man is going to make mandatory that you can't come in his store unless you put this device in your behind. And so he already done got the thing going. See, he got the Federal Reserve pretty much ruling the whole world, man. Because when they gave their money to America, when they gave all their gold to America in 1944, the Federal Reserve was printing all the dollars. It was printing up dollars and sending it to these people. You give us your gold, we gonna print up some money or some receipts or debt notes and send them to you. And whenever you want your gold, you just come and get us, and we gonna guarantee it. So that's what made that dollar so powerful. So the Federal Reserve, they done said we got a digital currency, and we gonna put in the WEF, say we gonna put the stuff under the skin. We not gonna be with all that swiping your phone and sliding the card or tapping the card. No, we gonna put it in your body and get the thing over with. See, and them the elite Edomites, them the ones that got power. Like Revelation 13 and what was that, 9? Said he had power um over he had all the power over over the first beast or whatever. See, these jokers got all the power. And they say they putting it under your skin somewhere. See, and the most convenient place is your hand or some in your body. When you walk through the store, the scanner gonna hit it. See, just like when you steal something out of Walmart, try to put it in your pocket, and it got one of them devices on it, and the alarm go off. And the people turn around and get mad and want to fight. See, that's a prelude of what these devils is gonna do. When you want to buy something out this store, you better have a device on your behind. See, so you want to come in here and get something to eat, you better have this device on you. So we can know you done came in the store. We gonna calculate everything you got in your buggy and charge you, and you can come on out the store. But if you don't get this little device that you put on your body so we can scan it, see, you ain't coming in our store and buying nothing. And this is how they gonna war against the Israelites and try to make themselves look good, make the Israelites looking like they breaking the law, because that's all they got to do is pass a law. Once they pass the law and you don't obey it, and see, this is how they gonna get these Christians. Let me go ahead and get that in Romans 13. This is how they gonna get these Christians. The Christians gonna pull when you talk about the law of the government. See, the Christians gonna pull out Romans 13. 13 and 1 say, let every soul be in subject unto the higher power. For there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. So they're gonna say, oh, you supposed to be subject to the power. Even though he telling you in Revelation 14, he don't care what this beast tells you. You do not receive this mark in your hand. I don't care what he talking about. See, he telling you who doing it too. Powers. That's why Ephesians told you that it's about going against the powers. Jeremiah 28 and 8 telling you it's going against the kingdoms and governments. And the beast in Revelation is talking about 10 kings. And these kings try to tell you to put something in your body, under your skin. See, you supposed to tell them to kiss your behind or chop your head off. Do what you got to do. Because I'm not getting punished. The Lord can bring me back to life. But guess what? Who can't? And see, that's another thing. Let's see if I can find that verse. Oh, I can find it on here, guarantee you. Um, because this is what's gonna get most of these Negroes. They gonna fall for it just so they can put some food in their mouth. What is it? Matthew 16. Okay, let me get that. Matthew 16. It says 16 and 25. It says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. See, this is the whole test that's going to happen. And Negroes is going to lose the test. See, they going to fail the test tremendously. Now, let me get that in Zechariah. See, these Negroes is going to fail the test, and they going to listen to the Hollywood people or whoever promoting the crap, and they going to put this stuff under their skin. See, they don't have no faith in Yahweh or Yahweh, and they just gonna do what these devils tell them to do. That they worship the so-called white man anyway. See, they care what he got to say about the situation. They don't give a care what no. That's why they try to demonize the Bible. But they know this thing is not agreeing with what nothing he got to say. Revelation 13, not Revelation. Zechariah 13 and 8. It says, it shall come to pass that in all the land, says the Lord, two parts thereof shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Is that not what Second Ezra just said? That then shall my chosen be known, because I'm gonna try them like the gold in the fire. See, he trying them um by them not consenting to these devils, put some device under their skin, them not consenting to the so-called white man to try so they can go into his grocery store or whatever store he uh build up or whatever. Cause see, these dragons getting ready for a famine too. That's another situation. Let me get that in a second. This is the climax of the whole situation. But that's showed you that it said part, 1/3 of the Israelites is gonna reject this man. See, the other 2/3 is gonna go right along with him and consent to him and be burnt up in the fire. See, they're gonna be burnt up right in their hood that they trying to represent. See, they trying to set claim to their hood and their street. That's where they gonna get burnt up at. Now, Second Ezra 6 tells you the climax, because verse 6 and 20 talks about the end of the world. It say, and when the world shall begin to vanish away, shall be finished. So this is when the world is coming, and the world of Esau, mind you, because Jacob is going to rule forever. But the world of Esau is going to come to an end. And this is what the dragon is going to do. Verse 22, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Now, it can go both two ways. It can be found empty because the so-called white man said, you can't come up in here unless you got this device under your skin. Or it can become empty, and the so-called white man is saying, I got some meat made. I can make a chicken in the laboratory, and I got all kind of laboratory food that I can make for you. See, but you got to, if you want to come and get this laboratory food, you know we got you gonna have to take this mark. So that can go two ways. It can be an actually real famine because they trying to exterminate all kind of animals and stuff, killing off the cows and the chicken. So you ain't no telling what they really trying to do. But it's food. It's food everywhere, man. You can go to Jamaica. They got miles and miles of fruits and stuff all on the trees. So these dragons really can't cause no famine like that. So it's really them being in control over the food right here in America. See now, oh, let me finish that. It said they shall suddenly be found empty. Verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, and when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And at that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies. So when that food situation pops off, that's when it's gonna be drama in the city. See, that's when all heck is gonna break loose. When the food situation start to be tampered with. And that's why in Revelation 6 he said he's gonna kill them with hunger. Because they depending on his behind for this food. Second Ezra 15 and get right to the point in 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So when all heck break loose, when he gonna try to implement this thing, that's gonna cause chaos, and people is gonna probably tap these stores, see, and snatch everything up out the store just like they did when the corona hit happened. They went and took all the toilet tissue, the bleach, washing, anything that you can clean with. The store was empty. See, because that's all they got to do is have a one panic, and all of the stores would be empty. And now you got chaos. Now you got a lack of bread because everybody done snatched everything out the store and hoarded everything. Now they can call martial law, get people stuff about their house. Oh, they done took everything out the store, so guess what? We got to come get it out your house. See, now let me get one more verse. What is it? Chapter 16. Get some more clarity. It's 16 and 22. It says, "For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." So it's gonna be all kind of chaos going on. Um, and the Lord works in mysterious ways, so you ain't gonna figure out exactly what He got going on. See, He gonna surprise you behind every time when you think you done got Him figured out. But basically, the food situation is gonna be connected to you buying and selling with this mark that they gonna try to put under folks' skin. And the reason people gonna take it serious because they got control over the food. See, and when they got control over the food, that's gonna make you take that thing serious. And now all heck gonna break loose. Now people gonna be trying to kill one another and raid each other's houses and stuff. And they gonna have to call martial law. But all of this is gonna happen pretty much in the midst of them trying to mandate this freaking you putting this thing under your skin. I think that's gonna be the that's gonna be what's gonna cause all the drama. But yeah, that's pretty much where we at right now with prophecy. See, they done passed all the laws and they got everything in place. They got the FEMA camps. They got the what you call it, the guillotine. They got the food situation being just outrageous. The dollar is pretty much being attacked on all sides. That's another one. Let's get that. When that dollar, see the dollar and that mark, they connected real tight, and that dollar is gonna fall. Let's see, is it Zephaniah? Hold on, Zephaniah or Zap. Okay, not Zechariah. Zephaniah. Yep, Zephaniah 1 and 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, says the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate." See, this is the same thing with Second Ezra was talking about. See, it's gonna be the trumpet is gonna blow, and people gonna know it's all heck finna break loose. And a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. So this great crashing is when that dollar is gonna crash. And see, the dollar is specifically to the fourth part of the earth, which is Babylon the Great America. This is where the dollar pretty much has all of its power, of where it gets the power from. So they over there with the BRICS, the Russians, the Brazilians, what it's called BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they trying to come up with a whole nother currency and trying to be the world currency. So if they accomplish their goal, then the dollar is gonna crash, and they not. You gonna have to hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is coming to America. Verse 11 say, "How ye inhabitants of Mutash, for all the merchants people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." So this is how you gonna have problems with getting food in America. See, and the food is gonna be um, what you call it scarce in America, probably in America mainly, because when that dollar drop, people not gonna be doing business with America. They're not gonna be doing trade with America like they was doing because the dollar had value. But now the dollar gonna crash and not have no value. So the trade with the food and everything is gonna be scarce. So that can cause a famine in America. See hyperinflation. And once that happens, then the government can confiscate the food and try to starve people out and say you got to take this mark to get whatever we got. See, only the people that want to take this, they can get whatever we got. So that dollar is a significant part of Esau's kingdom coming to an end, or which is the end of the world. See, once that pop off, that dollar crash is gonna be connected to the food crash, and it's gonna be connected to Esau's kingdom crashing. See, all of them is going hand in hand, and the temptation is for the Israelites is you when they stuff is crashing and falling down like the Titanic, is you gonna jump back on the Titanic and go to playing the guitar, the piano, and the violin like ain't nothing happened, or you gonna jump out the boat and try to save your life. See, and a lot of these 2/3, let's get that in Jeremiah. See, they gonna choose to stay on the boat. See, they ain't gonna wanna abandon ship. They wanna stay on the boat and hope that the boat can keep floating. See, they wanna have some hope on the boat. Jeremiah 8:3. It say, "And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places whether I have driven them, says the Lord of hosts." So he drove these Negroes here on a slave ship. And they gonna choose to stay here and depend on the so-called white man. See, I'd rather fast for 200 days than depend on this dragon. See, but the Negro gonna be worried about some food and doing what these dragons say, and they gonna take that mark and they gonna do what he say. See, they gonna choose death. See, the Lord done told you, he gonna burn your behind up right along with America. Now, let me end it off with that one. See, when he dropped them bombs on America, this is what's gonna happen to the 2/3 Negro that sit there and want to take the mark and join themselves to the so-called white man. See, if they can escape the hunger and they don't, they take the mark and they escape the hunger because he gonna try to kill people with hunger. So the ones that take the mark, they gonna obviously get some kind of food from his behind, and they gonna think that they done made it out. See, they done survived the hunger situation. But that's why Second Ezra 16 and 22 say the ones that escape the hunger, the sword is gonna get their behind. What sword that's gonna be? The nuclear missiles coming from Russia. Zechariah 14 and 12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. See, so these 2/3, they gonna get burned up trying to join on to the white man. See, in layman terms. Let me get that in Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah 13, I'm gonna start with 14 and say, um, and it shall be as a chased roe and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee every man into his own land. See, most of these other nations, they gonna hit the road. But wicked Negroes, this is what they gonna do in verse 15. It says, every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. See, they gonna try to join onto them and consent to their ultimatum or to their device that they want to put under their skin. They gonna join themselves to these Edomites so they can so-called get something to eat, and they don't know that it's a major trap. See, the Lord set traps. See, this is what people don't understand. The Lord set traps, and if you stupid enough to fall in it, that's on you. What is it? Is it in 29, Isaiah 29? You got to be a thinking. Where is it? But Isaiah 29 got something else that I want to bring out because this is what the 2/3 is doing. Well, Isaiah 29 and 15 and say, because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at an agreement. See, and that's where they going with his religions, and they gonna be talking about some Romans 13. It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Okay? And because this is what they gonna do, they making um the so-called white man they refuge, see, and they gonna find out that that's a bold-faced lie. See, he is not gonna be your refuge. He got something for you behind. Okay. But yeah, that's what I wanted. And so that's pretty much where we at in prophecy. Um, these kings is starting to war against each other. The kings of the Edomites, they starting to war and kill one another. And so they know that their time is up. So they trying to hurry up and get the Israelites to sin against their God. That's how they're gonna be warned against the Israelites. And once they make that thing mandatory, their kingdom is gonna fall so fast. And let me get that. Job. Job chapter 20, 20 and 23, it say, when he is about to fill his belly. See, when he trying to fill his belly, he already eating. See, he gonna be eating some of these Israelites, and he might be eating Abraham literally. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. See, he gonna be eating. He gonna be accomplishing his goal when he trying to frame the Israelites by saying, look, they're taking this mark and or they don't want to take the mark and they want to be rebels, so we can go ahead and give them the death penalty. It said, while he is eating, verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. See, while he's eating, and he got all this chaos going in Babylon the Great America, and he trying to get these Israelites to take the mark. He put some on to death. People starving out. He gathering them up. There's all kind of chaos going on. People killing each other. See, then that's when those nuclear missiles is coming to strike his behind through. See, say he shall flee from the iron weapon and the bow of steel. See, this is not no new kind of bow and arrow. He's letting it be known that this is a steel weapon that's flying like a freaking uh, arrow in the sky, a bow and arrow. It says, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm knowing on that. So yeah, I'm gonna close out. Just want to bring out them prophecies that's here. The famine, the wars, and these people pushing their mark is here. And so let me get the last one. Let me see. We know this is the end because we can see it. If we ain't waiting on it, we looking at it. We looking at it with our two eyes. Habakkuk 2 and 2 it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may read, that he may run that read it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. See that these prophecies is speaking, and we can see them. We can see the vision that was told thousands of years ago, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the prophets was waiting to see it, but the children of the prophets is looking at it right in our face. See, we can see the vision that was given to Apostle John, the prophet Jeremiah, prophet Isaiah, prophet Habakkuk, prophet Daniel, prophet Ezra. See, we can see all of these prophecies, Yahweh Shah, all of these prophecies that it was speaking of. We can see those visions clearly. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, Kakadash. Shalom.